Hey there. Welcome back to our podcast, Searching for Truth. Every time we meet like this, it's a great chance to explore another fascinating secret of the world together. Today, we have an interesting and touching story to tell, the vanishing of Madeleine McCann. Before we start, I just want to say that we're being careful here. We are respecting everyone in this difficult situation. So, while we tell this story, let's have an open mind and heart. Now, if you're new to our podcast, it focuses on exploring unsolved crimes and discovering facts from multiple points of view. And if you often come, it's wonderful to have you here again. You know the drill. Find a comfortable place, probably get yourself some coffee or tea, and let's start. All right, picture this. Madeleine McCann is a cute little girl with a big smile and blonde hair. She's almost 4 years old. It's May 2007, and she's enjoying a vacation that feels like paradise with her family and their friends in Praia da Luz, Portugal. They come from Leicestershire in England, a family like all of us who wants to make some bright memories. You can almost feel the sun and hear children's laughter near a pool, isn't it? But this isn't just a regular holiday story. It's a situation that changes from nice family picture to puzzle, heartening everyone across the globe. It's a reminder of how fast life can change, and some stories are left with more questions than answers. Let's start the story about that important night, May 3rd. The McCann family, having a good time during their vacation, ends another happy day at an ideal place. Madeleine and her siblings are snug in bed. They likely dream about adventures for the next day coming soon. At the same time, Kate and Jerry McCann with their friends are at a local tapas restaurant close to where they live for dinner. We're only talking about 55 meters or so from there. That is less than tossing stone away. They used a kind of buddy system. In this way, they would sometimes watch and make sure the kids who were sleeping in the night are okay. But that's when things get really amazing. At around 10 p.m., during a normal bedtime check, Kate finds that Madeleine's bed is empty, but her favorite soft toy for hugging remains there. Can you imagine that moment? The panic, the disbelief? It's a parent's greatest fear, taking place in real time. Before we start the investigation, let's spend a bit more time on that night. Imagine the scene, a calm holiday place, peaceful night air, and then suddenly something wrong happens. Madeleine can't be found. The McCanns and their friends quickly start to act, looking around the place while shouting Madeleine's name. It's a crazy, frightened search in Praia da Luz under the night sky. Every parent listening probably feels that big-time worry. It's a point that alters everything for the McCann family. Now, a quick reaction in situations like these is very important. The first hours, like any detective will say, are the best times in a case about someone who has gone missing. So, what happened next? The resort workers are told, and then the local police join too. There's a lot of action, questions being asked, and people trying to remember if they saw anything strange. The nearby community begins to work together, aiding in the search and sharing news about it. It's nice to see that kind of help, but there is also a hidden race with time. When the sun comes up on May 4th, local Portuguese leaders are ready to act. People are very hurried, but also bewildered. Different groups take part, and it's true, in these stressful moments, making an effective reply is very hard. Traffic stops are created, airport and border people are warned. Everyone is looking for Madeleine, but as time goes on, the truth of what's happening becomes clear. This won't be simple. So, the search starts. The Portuguese police start with the basics, talking to people who were there, getting possible proof from the flat, and trying hard put together a sequence of events. The news from around the world begins to talk about Madeleine's situation, and soon her photo is being shown in many places, papers, TV shows, and internet sites. Many people show great worry and curiosity. It's a lot, but also good to see many people caring about the troubles of McCann. But like all big cases in the news, there are problems and questions. People are very upset with the police of Portugal, and they don't like how this case is being dealt with. People begin to talk, guess, and speculate. It's hard for the people looking into this case, and even harder for Madeleine's family. They're dealing with their biggest worries and also being put in the spotlight by constant media attention. It's a situation that could challenge even the strongest of people. In that time, Kate and Jerry McCann are not only just worried parents, but sometimes being looked at closely. It's a difficult, deep-feeling situation. They are trying their best to find their daughter. They're teaming up with the cops and talking on news channels. They're dealing with a parent's worst fear, but in the most open and looked-at way possible. Now quickly let's skip a little in our story. The search is going on all day long, and each new day has another surprise. People who live all over the world are paying attention to this case. This causes a lot of ideas and guesses from others around them. It's as if everyone is trying to solve this problem from their own home. However, in this ocean of ideas, some important tips and hints grab public interest. First, there's talk of sightings, people stepping up and claiming they saw a child who looks like Madeleine. Each of these clues is like a flash of hope, but they often end in no way out. Then the drawings, you might recall them, are used. These are sketches of possible bad guys made by remembering what someone saw. These pictures go all over the world, and for some time they are the picture of mysteries. But later on, none of these clues turn out to be the big break that everyone wants. Now let's start exploring some ideas that people have been talking about. I should say, it is key to take a smart attitude with these. There's the belief that someone was trying to steal from the apartment and accidentally or in a hurry took Madeleine. They thought she would be an extra surprise victim, only for them things went differently than planned. Then there's the scary idea of a planned kidnapping, suggesting that someone was watching over Madeleine and thought to abduct her. These theories have been studied and talked about by experts, people who just like solving mysteries at home, and others. Everyone is discussing them all the time. Amidst all these ideas, the job of media becomes very clear. People hear about it in the news, and all parts are looked at carefully. They make big headlines. This constant news shapes how people see things and, in some ways, controls where the investigation goes. But it also brings up important questions about keeping secrets safe, the duties of news reporters, and how this overwhelming kind of attention can affect those involved. It's especially tough for McCann family who are right in the middle of all that focus. Kate and Jerry McCann are dealing with a very hard situation. It's almost impossible to understand how they feel. Some theories suggest, but they say unfairly, that these people were involved. This will give doubt and confusion to others around them. But they still want to find Madeleine, so they don't believe those strange ideas. They keep working with others who also look for missing people and let everyone know about Madeleine being gone. Their ability to bounce back is clearly noticeable in this entire story. And after that, there are the people who know a lot, ex-private investigators, child safety workers, and psychologists. Each of them has their own take on what happened. They look at the things people know, sometimes agreeing with or disproving popular ideas. It's exciting to listen to these different opinions, but it also shows us how hard such cases can be. There aren't any simple responses, no straightforward explanations. As we move forward in our story, it's important to remember that the search for Madeleine McCann has never really stopped. Over the years, there have been numerous initiatives, both official and unofficial, to keep the search alive. Let's talk about some of these efforts and how they've kept hope alive, not just for the McCann family, but for everyone following this case. In the years following Madeleine's disappearance, we've seen renewed efforts by law enforcement agencies. This includes re-examinations of evidence, new investigative techniques, and even reopening the case at various points. Every so often we hear about a new lead or a new piece of evidence that rekindles hope. While many of these haven't led to the breakthrough everyone hopes for, they are crucial in keeping the investigation active. One of the more interesting aspects in recent years has been the advancements in technology and forensics. We're talking about things like facial recognition software, age progression imagery, and enhanced DNA testing. These tools offer new ways to approach old evidence, giving investigators potential new angles to explore. This case has always had an international dimension, with agencies from different countries involved. Over the years, we've seen a lot of cooperation, but also some challenges in terms of jurisdiction and legal frameworks. It's a reminder of how complex international investigations can be, especially in a case as high profile as this one. We can't overlook the role of the media and public interest in keeping Madeleine's case in the spotlight. Documentaries, news reports, and even social media campaigns have all played a part. While this attention has its downsides, it's also been crucial in ensuring the case doesn't fade from public memory. And through it all, the McCann family's resolve has been unwavering. They've faced unimaginable challenges, yet their commitment to finding Madeleine remains as strong as ever. They've used every platform available to them to keep their daughter's story out there, a testament to their love and hope. So what does this case have coming up next? Even if there are more questions than answers, the search for Madeleine McCann never stops. Every year, new things can happen. So we hope that somebody someday will know a vital part to solve this old puzzle. As we get close to the end of our podcast today, let's spare a few minutes thinking about more wide-reaching effects on Madeleine McCann going missing. This event has made a big difference on how we see protecting kids, going places, and the ways press talks about tough subjects. It has started discussions around the world and brought about changes in how to safeguard kids, not just at home but also overseas. This case also highlights the power of community and the importance of continued awareness. The global response, the collective desire to help, and the ongoing public interest, all of these keep Madeleine's story alive and maintain hope for a resolution. It reminds us of our shared humanity and our capacity to come together in times of crisis. Before we finish, I want to say kind words and show support for the McCann family as well, all families with a missing child. They are going through pain that cannot be described in words. They are very strong when they face bad times. That's amazing how much strength they have. It is not under any doubt or difficulty. Our thoughts and wish are always with them. As we close this episode, let's remember the importance of hope and perseverance. The search for Madeleine McCann continues, and with each passing day, there's always a chance for new information to emerge, for new leads to be discovered. This case has shown us that even in the darkest of times, the light of hope never truly goes out. Thank you for coming with me on a big exploration of one of the biggest crimes that have lasted till now. If you know anything about Madeleine McCann going missing, no matter how big or small it might seem like a little bit of help could be useful. So please tell the right people who can do something to find her safely back with all those who care and miss her so much. Remember, even the smallest information could lead others up the path for solving this crime on where she is now located at Let's Keep Talking and back up efforts to find Madeleine. Until the next time, stay safe. Let's all do what we can in finding out truths together. This episode of In Search of Truth was made possible by the hard work and dedication of our production team, researchers, and everyone who contributed to bringing this story to you. A special thanks to our listeners for your unwavering support and engagement. Remember to follow or subscribe for more deep dives into unsolved mysteries. Stay safe and take care.